Hello and welcome from Chelsea Fan TV. You're here with Kev for more Chelsea news as we go into the weekend's game against Aston Villa. Please like, share, and subscribe, all that. And tonight we're trying to get up to 50 likes. Can we get up to 50 likes in the chat? Okay. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for everyone who's joining. Please be patient with me as I'm new to this live stream stuff, and I'm trying to get used to how to navigate around the processes and all that. But yeah, please be patient with me, and I feel like it's going to be a good hour. Please get all your questions in. I'll do my best to answer all of them, and also facts and everything else, anything at all that any information you want to give me, something that I don't know, please feel free to leave in the chat. So first of all, what can I say? Another week at Chelsea, another week of Maresca telling us different things, another week um, of the club showing us that Champions League football's not a priority. But who's to say that we're not going to get it? Eh? Maybe we get a result at Villa, which this time last year, I remember Enzo Fernandez scoring that great free kick. Maybe it's another one of them games. But yeah, I'm just gonna quickly go through the chat. I've got Zach here, Zach Chels. Are you going to the Copenhagen game? No, I don't think I'll be making that, to be fair, mate. I think if we get Betis in the later stages, maybe a trip to Spain. But yeah, I'm not too concerned about the Conference League. I do hope we do well. Obviously, it's just another trophy that we need, considering we are to all the cup competitions at the moment. Maybe the Europa League is something that we can get our hands on. So, Tom in the chat, he said today in the press conference that top four is our aim. So this is what I'm trying to say. So only 3 days ago, he was saying top four wasn't the priority for the club. It's going to take 2 years. And now today, top four is the aim. Where is the clarity within this club? Where is the direction within this club? Where is the trust? Because I do not trust a thing Maresca says. I don't trust a word these board members are saying because none of it's making any sense. It's just conflicting stuff on a weekly basis. Like we went out the FA Cup. He came out and said we can focus on the league. 3 days later, we lose against Brighton. We've got 2 years, but now all of a sudden, top four is the aim. So it's basically come out and said three different things within a week. So how are us fans supposed to trust and believe in something that they haven't even got a clue in themselves? Very, very suspicious, very, very dubious, and I just hopefully we do get top four. I really hope so, considering where we was 6 weeks ago, challenging for the league. That's what people are saying. So now us obviously being sixth place, I do hope we can find some form and start going up that league because it's going to be a long finish of the season. But yeah, we'll touch upon a lot of stuff towards the end of the show. And yeah, we're going to talk about the Europa League draw. The Europa League draw. So, as you probably know, the Europa League draw came out today. I'm just going to share this with you. Give me 1 second. So, give me 1 second. Let me share this. So, the Europa League draw came out today. Okay. So, here we go. So, as you know, here we go. Let me just stop sharing that. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec, please. So, we have got Danish club Copenhagen in the Europa League. Not quite sure how this is going to pan out, to be fair. Anyone in the chat know anything about Copenhagen? Because I couldn't tell you anything. There's only Real Betis and Fiorentina for myself are the clubs that will give us any kind of test. And not saying Copenhagen wouldn't in the form that we're in, but it feels like we should be winning this game convincingly, to be fair. So anyone in the chat know anything about Copenhagen? So the other fixtures within the Europa Conference League is Real Betis versus Victoria SC. We have a Jagiellonia, if you want to pronounce it like that, versus Cercle Bruges. We have a Celje versus Laguna. Panathinaikos versus Fiorentina, two teams that I know well. Panathinaikos being Greek club, very well funded, very well run. A team that we played in the group stages as well. Fiorentina, massive Italian club. We've got Copenhagen, obviously Chelsea, first round taking place at their stadium. Molda versus Legia Warsaw, Polish club. Paphos versus Young Dragon, and then Borac versus SK Rapid. So that is what we are coming up against. That's what we are coming up against. Thoughts in the chat, lads. Real Betis. I've been seeing a lot of things on Instagram. I've been seeing a lot of things on Insta about Anthony potentially coming back and biting us on the arse. Don't jinx it. All I can say is don't jinx it. Don't jinx Charles. Imagine if Anthony scores against us now and they beat us. Imagine what the United fans would be saying to us. But don't jinx it. We are going to beat Betis, even if we do come across them. We will beat them. Okay, there's no worries there whatsoever. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the chat and have a little read. See what people are saying here. So very interesting by Robert game. Robert Sanchez, Mr. Baldy, as you've probably seen, shaved his hair off. To be honest, I'm just going to touch upon that. Do you actually think, yeah, he shaved his hair so that he looks like Sanchez's brother? Like, shave. Look, boss, I'm looking like you got to pick me. Look, I'll shave my hair. Because it's just outrageous. I've seen it today that he shaved his hair. Like, that's just weird. But yeah, Sanchez, Mr. Baldy, or Philip Jorgensen in goal. Very difficult in a sense where I'd go Philip Jorgensen. I really would, but it's difficult for me either way because we keep talking about the goalkeeper, and within any team, the goalkeeper should not be the main focus. It's down to the whole team collectively. It's down to the defense, and it's always the goalkeeper that seems to be the main topic of conversation. That goes to show how far this team's falling. Like, at the end of the day, if your team's going to continue to keep on passing the ball back to you and putting you under a lot of pressure, maybe it's down to defense not really focus on much. Maybe it's the tactics from the manager. And Sanchez, we all know that he's not a player at the back keeper. He's far from that player at the back keeper. He's just going to keep on giving it to the opposition. So the tactics haven't helped Sanchez to suit the best of his capabilities as a goalkeeper. But at the same time, Philip Jorgensen had the best stats in Spain last year, who he's playing at the back. So maybe give him a little bit more of a run. Obviously didn't have the best time against Brighton last Friday, but can you really blame him for the way we lost that game? When your defense plays so poorly and doesn't protect you, maybe some of the blame should be on the defense and the team as well. So Philip Jorgensen has to start for me and answer that question, Zach. It will definitely be Philip Jorgensen. Why bother? I've got another one here from the Horizons Heredita. Why bother watching Chelsea game? Good question. Nah, I'm only joking. I will watch Chelsea to the end. Look, we are. Look, put it like this: 2 months ago, everyone was jumping on the same agendas. Yeah, we're going to win the league. Yeah, we're going to finish top 4. So all of a sudden now we slip out the top 4 and everybody's, I'm not watching Chelsea, this and that. Yeah. You have to support your club through thick and thin. Yeah. The club does need our support. But at the same time, protests, obviously, as we're all aware, on Tuesday, this is more than just the team. This is more about the club and how it's been run. Yeah. This is what we're trying to get to. The club is not being run. The club is not being run. It's been run like a business. It's not been run like the old regimes where, we'd see out, we'd go out and buy experienced players, and the best interests of the club were at the heart of the owners. Right now, it seems like this club's been running to the ground, and that's where the protests are going to start. So let's be real now. We've got to support the team. The team needs support. They're clearly lacking confidence due to the past performances. But the last thing they need now is for us to get on their backs. I think it's more we need to get on the owners' backs. Okay, so let's be clear. We've got to back our team. Back our team. We've got to back our team, and obviously it's going to be a very difficult game on Saturday. Very difficult game. A team that are in contention to get Champions League as well. But we've got to believe. We've got to believe and get it, because at the end of the day, this time last year, I never believed we can get a win at Villa. I went there and turned them over. So let's see where it takes us. But all we can do is get behind them, get behind the team. It's the board that needs to be accountable for everything else going on. So let's get on the boards, back on that team. That's all I've got to say on that matter there. Going through the chat again. Tom Mann. As on the away day, League of Warsaw will be an absolute mental game. We've had to close ultra stand in their land last game, and then when the game happened, there was a big display in over stand from them. Yeah, them Polish people don't mess around. Them Polish people do not mess around. It's them ones that they do the Poznan as well, so they all literally turn around. I think Man City trying to replicate it, but it's not quite the same. Yeah, crazy. Warsaw, obviously the capital of Poland as well, so it'd be a cracking day out. I don't think I'd be making that, to be fair, but yeah, well, why not? I think it'd be a good atmosphere. I know a bit about League of Warsaw. Like a few Polish friends that follow him, and they are absolutely mental. So it'd be a good opportunity, good day out for the lads. But let's see where it gets us. I feel like there's no teams really that can stop us. I feel like Fiorentina and Betis, the only teams left within this competition that will do anything. So we have to, okay, it's not going to be easy. Every game that you play is going to have some kind of difficulty, but come on, come on. This has got to be one of the cups that we're getting our hands on. There's no excuses. There is zero excuses for us not to get our hands on this trophy. Okay, so I'm confident, and I'm sure the lads will be as well. Undertaker CFC. Salzburg have agreed to protest with Chelsea. I don't know anything about that, but it wouldn't surprise me, because this is they're in the same hands as in the same boat as us, because it's Blue Coat. Blue Coat are the ones that own both of us, so it wouldn't surprise me that we're linking up to protest, because these people haven't got a clue how to run a football club. It's clear to see where their interests lie, and it's just it's not consistent enough on both sides. From Salzburg looking at us, for them looking at they're talking about getting players, shopping players, this and that. They're basically just a feed the club to us. It's not good. It's not good. So I could see why Salzburg would want to protest against us, but it's got to be a meaningful protest. It's got to be, a way of us showing how much you care for the club, and it's got to be something that is put on regularly. I don't feel like one protest is going to do anything. These are not going to. One protest, they'll probably be laughing at us. If it continues into most home games, we make a stance, they will start understanding that this club is important to us, and they can't continue to carry on the way they're treating us like we are not fans. We are customers. It's well documented that that's how they see us. We are now customers of Chelsea Football Club, not fans. So we've got to get them thinking out the box now, and how they can treat this club right, treat us right, stop milking us for every single penny, and stop putting more money into better players to get us back to where we need to get to. And I'm sure the fans will get back on their side. But right now, it's just the right thing to do, and it's come the right time. There's no point protesting end of the season when it's too late. We've got to start doing things now for them to change the model going into the summer. So let's see how that pans out. So I'm just going to flick through a few things I've seen in X. Okay, just bear me a second. So I'm just going to flick through a few things I've seen on X. Okay, so Rob Conference. So quite a few comments from Enzo. going into this Aston Villa game. Okay, so we all know that Malo Gusto, okay, hasn't had the best of seasons, and I feel like he's going to be needed going into this end of the season run. You know, obviously, we're having one fit left back, Ben Chilwell and Viega being loaned out. And those comments on Malo Gusto. I am very happy with Malo. He's doing well with us in this important moment to judge players. We judge them consequently of results. Malo helps us a lot when we are on good run. He's an important player. But he hasn't really been honest to that, if you ask me. He has not been honest to that because Gusto has not been good this season. Gusto has been played that position this season. Gusto is not an inverted player, and we continue to see him and his performances slip away because of Maresca's tactics and his stubbornness to not change it. That's what it is. Maresca needs to change the tactics. We can all see where the problems lay. You've got Gusto. He was last season probably, 1 second, that's 16 minutes. I have not stopped talking. Sorry about that. But you've got Gusto last season, for me personally, one of the best up and coming right backs in the world. And what was he good at doing? He was good at keeping the pitch wide. He was good at overlapping. And he was good at crossing the balls from wide positions. This season, he's been told to do the exact opposite. He's been told to come inside. He's been told to play the intricate tiki-taka football. He's been told to do things that he's not comfortable doing, and we've seen it on a regular basis. We've seen it on a regular basis, and this is why Gusto's performances and his confidence is not there. So why is it? Why is it not rocket science? Why isn't the manager telling him to stay out wide and play to the best of your capabilities? This is what it's about. If you've got a player and you know that he's not doing well in a position, you need to play to the player's strengths, not weaknesses. And we all know Gusto inside, it's not good. It's like Gusto playing left back. We've seen it and it doesn't work. But Maresca continues to still do this, do the same thing and stick to his tactics. So we've got to start seeing change with the tactics because at the end of the day, we can only pinpoint some of these bad errors on the board, but ultimately, when the players are on that field, they've got to be looking like they're knowing what they're doing. And right now, when you're playing this inverted stuff, it's just not working. This inverted playing at the back football is not working, and this is why Gusto is one of them players that's not showing at the moment, even in this system. So I just feel like we need to go back to basics, Gusto, and stick to his strengths. We definitely do. I've got Brian. CFC, thank you for the $2 donation. Thank you very much, brother. Bring us a trophy winning model, for fuck's sake. It's not rocket science, bro. It's not rocket science at all. We are in a position right now that I think there's not as much money going around the club than when they first came into the club. These owners, they came in and they splashed the cash around, and they're finding out that there's not much more to put in due to FFP and everything else. Obviously the wage structure's not good at all, so we're not attracting the right players. About Champions League football, that's why they're going to go down and down. So the winning model, Brian, please tell me, how do we get this club back to a winning model? It's easy to us to jump on a stream or jump in the chat and say it, but how the hell are we going to get back to winning ways? You know, because it doesn't feel like we're going to go and sign world-class players. It doesn't feel like we're going to go and sign experienced players. So how can we change around for us Chelsea fans to start seeing a winning beast again, like under Abramovich? Please leave your comments in the chat. I really want to see and hear how we're going to get Chelsea back. I'm just going to go back with some more comments on Menzo. Okay. Enzo Maresca and the general mood around the club and within the players. This is a good one. The team spirit in this moment has to be upset. We are upset because we are not happy with the results in this moment. We are all well aware where we are in the club. We are not here to survive. We are to win titles and fight for that. I just don't get certain things though. Like it's say one thing and then we are doing the next thing. Like, if we are here to win the titles, why are we at the FA Cup? Why are we at the League Cup? Why are we not challenging for the Premier League? And why are we just about scraping and still in contention for Champions League? Does that show us fans that we are a title winning club? When the players you signed in January, really? The players that you signed in the summer, does that show us that we are a winning club? So it's not in line. Your comments are not in lining with what the proof and the facts that we are seeing. It's just good. It's just PR. Do I like it? It's PR. He's been told what to say by the people up, but people like us, we are not stupid. We can see that your comments are not matching to what. If you go out and sign world-class players, go and say Guy Correa, go and say Usherman, go and sign a Bastoni, go out there and show us fans that you are ambitious and you want the best, maybe we can believe you. But right now, those comments is a load of BS. We are not in it to win titles with what we've seen. Not at all. Not in the slightest. Okay, not in the slightest. I want to go for a comment. Comment here from MFS6793. This is all smoke and mirrors, blue cold cards, they're in debt, they're the problem. Don't know anything about them being in debt, to be fair. I do not know anything about them being in debt. But yeah, just quickly. 23 people in the chat right now. Can we get those likes with it? Yeah. If you're in the chat, please just like, show me some support. Yeah. Remember, I'm new to this live thing. I'm just trialing it at the moment, see how I get on. But hopefully, I'm enjoying it so far. Anything at all that you want me to go through? Obviously, we're going to go through the Aston Villa preview very shortly. We're going to go in depth about what Aston Villa can bring to the table. We're going to go through the starting lineup and about how we can set up. Obviously, we're going to go through the injury news. Obviously, with more news that Madueke is going to be out for 4 weeks. So we're going to go through absolutely everything. Anything else that anybody wants to talk to us on, please let me know in the chat. Okay. So further comments from Enzo Maresca. So he talks about himself here, okay? And there's been a lot of talk about Enzo Maresca and if he's got the backbone, if he's got the quality, the leadership, the hunger, the desire to become a winning Chelsea manager. And I'm just reading some comments from here. I am ambitious. The club is ambitious. Nothing has changed from 2 months ago when we were winning. Manager, players, owners, sporting directors, other than, unfortunately, we are dealing with many injuries and that is affecting the level. No. I'm not buying it. This is what it's come to now. This is what it's come to. He's now blaming the way we're playing on injuries. This is not on injuries, bro, because we was playing this way when we had a full squad, say 4 weeks ago. The excuse was not about injuries. So why now we've got 1 or 2 injuries? You blame it on injuries. Shouldn't the board and the directors have players to come in and fill those positions and have a bit of squad depth? So that doesn't wash with me well. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that. He's trying to say that the way this club has fell off the last few weeks is down to injuries. That's BS. Total BS. And I'm sure everybody else will be on the same bandwagon as me because it's planning. It's planning. If you know that in the season you're going to get injuries, so why would you go and weaken your squad knowing that you're going to get injuries? So who's to blame for it? Is it on the manager? Is it on the board? But right now, somebody needs to be accountable for it. And someone needs to stand up because we are not just buying the idea that the injuries have made us this team. When you spent so much money, you should have a backbone, you should have a core, you should have depth. And we have got none of that. Okay? So injuries are not to blame. Maresca, we are not buying that one there, mate. Okay? Also, we have 13 games to go. The target is to finish top 4 in the best way. knowing the difficult moments we have now is probably one of the most important reasons why is because of the injury situation. Significant players are out. Okay, so the only significant player I could think of, or two, let's say, would be Fofana and Jackson. But don't blame it on Jackson. Do not blame this on Jackson because he's gone. Let's be real. 10 games he has gone without scoring a goal. So is it on an injury or is it because he hasn't got someone to push him forward to score more goals? It's not because of the injuries, Enzo. You must think we are stupid, mate. It's not on injuries. This is not on injuries, yeah. So a lot of PR, man. There's a lot of PR going around about injuries and this and that. But let's stick to the raw facts. We are where we are because the planning was poor. Start the season up until now, January window has been poor. Okay. So let's be real on that one there. Okay. Gonna go to another comment here. Sean, is Sanchez a Conference League keeper? If so, we are doomed. And yeah, every time this guy puts a Charles shirt on, we are doomed, bro. Doesn't matter who we're playing against, Copenhagen or Estonia. This guy's got a mistake in him. Let's be real. So I'd give Philip Jorgensen that shirt for half the season. I wouldn't. We proved a couple of weeks ago when we give him the #1 shirt against Brighton when we lost in the FA Cup, and he had a stinker then. The goal show, this guy cannot be nowhere near it. And with him shaving his head, I don't know what the deal was with that, but hopefully he can catch a ball. Hopefully he can find a pass for him shaving his hair, because he certainly ain't gonna win us back by doing this. Maybe he's trying to get in Enzo's good books. Who knows? But right now, Philip Jorgensen has to be the #1 goalkeeper. There's no ifs, buts, or doubts about that whatsoever. Okay. So I'm just going to continue to the screen and continue to share the screen. I've got some more stuff to share here. So we're going to go into pies. Okay. I'm going to see a bit about Chelsea. Okay. So I'm just going to fly through, see what the breaking news is. See what the breaking news is. Remember to people, please like, share, subscribe. Let's get them likes up. At least 50 likes. Can we get to 50 likes, people? Here we go. And there's the picture I'm looking for. Roberto Maresca. That's what I'm going to start calling him. Roberto Maresca. Yeah? Crazy, crazy, crazy scenes at Cobham today. Yeah? So, a bit about the Villa game as well. So, obviously going into the Villa game tomorrow, okay, we're going to touch upon their form and how I feel we're going to set up, okay? We're going to go into the injury news. So we're going to get a bit of injury news up as well. Give me 1 second. And see where we are. See where we are. Okay. So, according to Football London, okay, according to Football London, okay, Nani Madueke. Is this good news, bad news? Leave in the chat. How do people feel about Nani Madueke being out for 4 games? Wasn't in the best form anyway, wasn't he? To be fair, let's be real. Okay. I think it was 2 assists in his last 8. The last goal he scored was against Brentford. So a long time ago. Nani Madueke, okay, is out for 4 games. How do we feel about that, Chelsea fans? And where do we fall now? Who starts? Who starts? I'm just going to go through how I feel we'll set up against Villa. I feel like it'd be Got to be. It has got to be Felipe Jorgensen starting. Felipe Jorgensen starting. It's Cucurella left back. I'd go with Shaloba and Tosim. Okay. I feel Colwell has not stepped up to someone who's experienced enough to lead. And I feel like we need experience in our back. And Shaloba and Tosin would be more of a better combination than Colwell. I don't know about everyone else, but Colwell's performances in the last few games alone, not good. And there's always a mistake in the guy as well. And I feel like with the keeper coming in, it just needs the confidence. It needs the confidence from his defence. So Tosin and Shaloba. What would it be, people? Would it be James or would it be a Gusto? James or Gusto? For me personally, it has to be James. Gusto, it's just not been good. It's not been good the last few games. And it's not down to him. I feel like the tactics are kind of doing him out at the moment. So it'd have to be Reece James. Reece James right back. Going into midfield, there's already really two clear options, isn't there? It's always the same. Love is still being out for another 3 weeks, apparently. For Fona's back in training, which is good news as well. But for me personally, it'd have to be Enzo and it'd have to be Lavia. No ifs, buts, or doubts. That's all we got. We can't do a KDH, and there's no one else I feel like can step up in that position. So Enzo and Casado once again. Just fingers crossed that none of these get an injury. Fingers crossed. Say if Casado gets an injury, we are cooked. Yeah? Just fingers crossed that one of these pairs did not get an injury. Moving further up the field. Been a lot of talk. Been a lot of talk about putting Cole Palmer on the right and keep behind. But we haven't got a striker now. So he's out. We've got Jackson who's out. So the only player that we can start up front is Jackson. So it'd have to be for me, Neto on the right, Palmer through the middle, and Tyvit George on the left. And George deservingly gets a shout here because talking about a player that doesn't have any fear at all. He wants to get our players. Sancho would have to be dropped for me. His performances have not been good. Decision making, not good. Final ball, not good. Just having that energy and the freedom that we've seen from Sancho start of the season, it's not there. He's clearly lost something. He's lost that swagger about him. Like we seen that goal against Tottenham, where he didn't think about it. He literally just cut in, shot in the corner, doing stuff instinctively. Now he's thinking, and this is a sign of a player that's clearly lost his confidence. So we need someone like Tyvit George to get down there and just get at him. Like we've got a chance to win this game. It's only Aston Villa, okay. We'll go into their team shortly and about what they've done, but this is a winnable game. It's a winnable game if we have the confidence and have players that want to get at players and want to fight and get shots on. One shot on target against Brighton last game, not acceptable. Not acceptable. So we need to get the confidence back. We need players to be firing, and we need the players to just go and do the thing. Like I said, Sancho was doing it start of the season. All the players are doing it. So why not? Why not now? What's going on up until then? We've got answers. The questions need to be asked. Why are we not firing? Why are we not getting shots away? It's confidence. But just leave everything behind and it's going to through the game and try and do the best we can. Because, like I said, it's there for the taking. And there's only one clear player that will start up front, continuing on from starting lineup. It's just hard to say his name. Nkunku. That's the only player that we've got. So what else can we do? Yeah. So Nkunku would be the striker, but with that, he's not giving us much, is in there. He's not giving us much up there. So that's what we've got to go ahead with, unfortunately. That's it. What can we do? What goes down to planning once again? Planning wasn't good, so we are where we are. And we have to start players that are out of position. We have to start players that clearly don't want to be here. But that's how it is, unfortunately. I'm going to go back to the chat. Stephen Michaels, big up Kev, respect, brother. I hear you. Another one here. Are you going to the protest? I'm just going to be real. I'm a very busy man. Okay, and so much I'm a career at the moment, but I haven't got time. I literally haven't got time. But I will be there in spirit. Okay. And what I mean by that is I wanted this protest to happen. Just because I can't make it doesn't mean I'm not bothered. And I'm not trying to be wishy-washy here and say like, oh look, I'm not a real fan of all this. This protest needs to happen. And if it continues to happen on a weekly basis, you will find me at one. Because I want the best for this club. We all want the best. The proper fans do want the best for this club. And our voices need to be heard now. Okay. We cannot continue to witness what we have. Witness what we've been seeing the last few months, the last few years. We need to make our voices known now so that this board changes the model for next season. And now is the right time. Now is the right time. It's the right time. And I'm happy that everyone's on the same wavelength because they have to hear us out now. And it's hopefully, like I said, to the end of the season, we keep on doing it. Win, lose, or draw. Even if we win 4 on the bounce, we've got to continue doing it. Until we see change, we need to continue to protest. And maybe then we'll start seeing change. But this is not going to happen overnight. If people think that we're going to go to one protest and that's it, we're going to go and sign a Vlahovic, we're going to go and sign a Bastoni, we're going to go and sign a Donnarumma, or we're going to go and sign Diogo Costa from Porto. I'm talking about top talents here. It's not going to happen. Over a period of time, they will hear us out. They will hear us out because it will get toxic. It already is toxic. But if people think that's going to one protest on Tuesday is going to change anything, you are stupid. There's no point even going to the one on Tuesday if you feel like this one is going to happen then. It's going to have to be a continuation of us turning up in our numbers and making our voices heard. Okay, and that's what the proper Chelsea fans need to do now. Save our club. It's about time now. They've had long enough to sort it out. They've had enough money. They clearly don't want this club to succeed, but it's all PR. The PR I'm seeing from Maresca, saying we are a title-winning club, this and that. Come on, people. Are we that stupid to believe it? But yeah, going back to the Villa Chelsea preview, I was just touching upon the comments there. And going into Aston Villa in the week, Wednesday night, brilliant game. Absolutely phenomenal game against Liverpool, which ended 2-2 at Villa Park. Villa obviously not going into this game in consistent form themselves, but let's be real here. They are going to be favourites. They have quality. They have strength for depth. They have a spine. They have experience. They have a good manager, experienced manager, winning manager. They of all the Villa are basically like Chelsea, the old Chelsea. Let's be real about this. Like I've got mates in Birmingham. I've got Villa mates. Jealous of them. Look at the going and signing. Asensio's for one. I think if it wasn't for his injuries, I think he'd be looking at one of the best players in the world right now. The injuries obviously had a massive impact on his career. He's gone to PSG, not done too well there. Now he's got an opportunity to come to the Prem and play under a manager that clearly likes him. Brilliant signing for him. Rashford, another player that's had a turbulent few years, not that needed to get out of Man United. I think it was time for him to go in and change it a bit. The fans obviously got into his back. But when you consider the signings that Villa made and Daniel Marlin as well from Borussia Dortmund, quality winger, quality striker, they have really gone out with intent and they really want to close that positions, close that space on City, close that space on us. And it's there. They've got the depth. They've got the depth to go out in the Champions League. I think they've got Club Brugge as well in the Champions League, so got one of the easier ties as well. So all things are in Villa's favour for them to achieve. And fair play to them because they've gone out and done things the right way. They have not stripped all their leadership. They've still got McGinn. They've still got players in there that are not the best footballers, but they will have a massive impact on the change room. They're leaders. They've got Martinez. They've got a spine. They've got a core. They've got young players in Rodgers coming through, and they've also got top talents as well. They've got probably one of the best strikers in the Premier, Watkins. They've obviously made a lot of money through the sale of Duran, which is smart business, and they've got to replace them properly. They've done business the right way. They haven't gone and sold the top talents and gone and signed 10 new players. They've gone and got Rashford and Asensio. That's the way you show ambition. That's the way you show your fans where you want to be. Not the way we're doing business. And then come out in the media and say to us that we're in contention to win trophies. Not buying it. Lies. It's all lies. The protest needs to continue, not for 1 week, but to the end of the season. That's how we show them that we're not buying it. Yeah. Going to go back into the chat. Going to go back to the Villa preview once again in a moment. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to go into the chat. Has the rugby guy thought anything to motivate the players when the majority of our time our players look like they're depressed? Yeah. Just seeing that picture of Cole Palmer after that Brighton game walk off that pitch. Sad. It's sad to see. And we need more than a rugby player. We need a psychologist at the club. That's what we need. We need someone to remind them that only 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, probably, I was at the Tottenham New Stadium watching my team come back from 2-0 down in emphatic fashion, and probably I witnessed one of Chelsea's best performances under this Todd Bowley era. And we was cruising towards top 4. There was no doubt in my mind. So where has it gone wrong since then? This is where someone needs to remind these players that the performances don't drop like that on a team and an individual level. So what do we need to do to get the performances back? Yeah, because we can do it. Sancho can do it. He can go around a player and put it in the corner. Palmer can get more assists, can get on the ball more. Neto can be a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Incisive. He can cut in the shoot. He can get around and play and cross. Now it's all telegraphed. It's all go up the line, no one's in the box, come back. Is it because we haven't got a strike in the box? Is it because they've never had confidence in Jackson scoring? There's got to be some reason why. And there's a lot of different things, but it's down to the planning. I'm not buying injuries. It's down to the planning of them getting someone in the box, which all knew we needed. Before Jackson got injured, we all knew that we needed in-box threat. And the wingers, we've got all the creativity in the world. We've got Neto, got Palmer, got Sancho, brilliant creative players. But when you've got no one to get in the end of them balls, it's pointless you putting that ball in the box. So it's down to the board for not doing their planning and their due diligence and what we need to do to improve the squad. They have not improved the squad. The squad has gone back. So they need to be accountable for it. Like I said, I can keep going on, but I think our eyes are open to where the fall off has begun. Steve Michaels. Our Klein Leg ownership should buy the NHS avoid injuries and depression. I wouldn't say there's much injuries, to be fair, mate. I think like injuries was more last year, wasn't they? There's more last year, let's be real. There was a lot more injuries last year. But it seems that we are slipping back into that kind of routine where players coming back and going back out. So it's down to the injury people, isn't it? The people that are looking after the medics, the medical stuff. When you completely clear out the whole of your medical team and replace them with amateurs, this is what you get. This is what you get. And surprisingly, that we haven't had that as much injuries. We've had a couple of long-termers with James and Fofana, but good news, Fofona's back in. But the thing is, they can come back off injuries, but it's keeping them fit and getting them on the right regime to keep them fit. Getting them on the pitch is easy. But what we found out the last few years is when they come back, they're out again within 2 weeks. So are they getting the right treatment? Are they getting the right care? Are we rushing them back? Are they getting the minutes monitored? All these questions need to be asked. Why players keep on getting the same injuries? And I'm sure we'll come to some conclusion about it. But right now, it's been a shit show. Let's be real, it's been a shit show. And I just hope it gets better. I really do hope it gets better. Gonna go to S. Throw James and the striker. I don't think I can answer that one. There's no one else. You probably are in a good shout, but who else? Who else? I am fed up of seeing Nkinku as a striker. I don't know about everybody else, but I am done with seeing Nkinku as a striker. I really am. In the Europa League, he will bang game after game after game. But we put him up against half decent opposition and he hasn't even had a sniff. And when you consider Tell, for instance, he wanted to leave Bayern Munich and get more minutes. And Nkunku, he wanted to go to Bayern. And Tell, a decent striker, is now playing at Tottenham. Where's the negotiation skills? Where's the planning? Yeah? Negotiation. If we had, he was at negotiator before, negotiator. Under Rowan above him. What's her name? Name come to me in a minute. Mario Gatislava. Yeah? Mario Gatislava will get the business done. She see it opening, she get the business done, and we get the player. Now, I don't trust when you're having to see Ed Barley fly to Portugal in his private jet to get the Enzo deal across the line. What does it go to show about these board of directors with their negotiating skills? When some of the paths are opening up, like to do a swap deal, and people are trying to fill my head. Marina got Slava, there we go. And people are trying to fill my head with potentially the end of the season. There's a potential swap deal with Felix and Rafael Leo. Really? If you can't get the Usherman deal across the line, which is, let's be right, that close away from going across the line, and he can't not get that across the line. And if he's not talking about big wages here, Galatasaray could do it, but we couldn't. We are cooked. We ain't got a fucking chance, mate. Sorry for swearing. We haven't got a chance of getting top quality players in this because the board of directors haven't got the fucking minerals, mate. They haven't got him. They haven't got the balls. They haven't got the negotiation skills. Egg Barley's obviously proven that. He went to Portugal, got the Enzo deal across the line. Same with Mudryk as well. Got that deal across the line. So if there is something Egg Barley's good at, he's negotiating. But maybe you need to put your hands in your pockets, mate, and do more negotiating to get some top-class players, as we would not be in this position right now, where we've got a couple of injuries and we can't replace them. You see where I'm coming from? City have done it. City had injuries and got and put their hands in the pockets. But yeah, okay, they still got whooped against Real Madrid, which is good to see. But still, they are going to get top four now. They've seen that they need depth, they need help, and they've gone out and bought players to help the team to achieve their goals. What have we done? What have we done? And these are the questions that need to be asked. I'm going to go a bit more into the Villa. Give me 1 second. As you probably aware, in the Premier League right now, Brentford 3, Leicester 0 at half time. So it looks like Leicester getting cooked as usual. I'm going to go a bit into tomorrow's game. Going to go into some injury news. Going to go into some tactics. Going to go into how I thought Villa were going to set up. Just to finish up, okay? 10 minutes left. How many more likes can we get? Everybody in the chat, we've got 17 left. I am happy that 17 people are still here, listening to my boring voice, yeah? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm telling you now, The lives will get better. They'll be more structured. But for now, bear with me. I'm still learning. But thank you very much for keeping in there and showing support. But if you want to show more support, just like. That's it. Like and share the channel. Okay? That's all you got to do. But yeah, going into the Villa. Yeah. So Villa coming to the game in 9th place. Not in the best form, like I said. They are currently 4 points behind us in the league. But we have a game in hand. Okay. So winning this game does open up a bit of a gap between us. But have we got the mentality to do it? Have we got the mentality to do it? That's what we've got to ask ourselves. Villa coming into the game. 2-2 draw against Liverpool in the week, like I just said. Brilliant game. Villa done well. I think there was a head a couple of times. And the players looked like they was on form. Asensio was, what a player. This is what you're going and buying. This is what Villa going and buying. Asensio. Top talents. To try and push them on. Yeah. 1-1 draw against Ipswich was a disappointing result for them. They had a 2-1 win against Spurs, which everyone can do. Let's be real. 2-0 loss against local rivals Wolves. 4-2 win against Celtic. And a 1-1 draw against West Ham. So that's their last 6 games. So very inconsistent, to be fair, knowing Villa. And I feel like the majority of that is down to squad size. You know, they've got invested in the January window to strengthen their squad because they needed it. Couple of injuries, tiredness kicking in. They put everything into the Champions League, deservingly getting through, impressing a lot of us with wins against Bayern Munich. But it's getting down to this: our best performance this season was in the reverse fixture. Yeah, and this was a Chelsea that didn't have any fear, didn't have any doubts at all. We knew where we was going, and this is where a lot of people stood up and took it seriously. Even some of the rival fans, even some of the top pundits stood up and it was like, you know what, Chelsea in the title race, we absolutely outplayed them, so we can do it. We've got to remind ourselves, Chelsea can do it. So we've got to get the standards back up and stop making fucking excuses about injuries. We don't want to hear it. Every team has injuries. But if you haven't got squad depth, there you go. So it's not an injuries. We've got to go out there and do what we can with the players that we got. And Villa are ever taken. They are in poor form themselves. This game is a winnable game. Yeah? This game is very much a winnable game. It's going into their lineup against Aston Villa. And I've seen quite a lot of this as well. I've seen quite a lot of comments about the long watch and players. Disassi having a decent game against Liverpool. You've got Renato Vieira. He's playing brilliantly at Juventus. You've got João Felix is doing decent. You've got Santos. He's been probably the best centre midfielder in France. You've got Petrovic, the best keeper in France. Why are all these players cooking in other teams? And when they're at us, they're stinking. And this is where some of the blame has to come down to the tactics. And I have to go back to it again. If you continue to keep playing Gusto in this inverted role, you're killing him. If you continue to keep playing his pass at the back football with keepers that can't play this style of football, you're killing the defence. If you're going to have no box presence, you're killing the wingers because they've got no one to get the ball into. So a lot of it's not on the players' heads. It's the playing of the team and the players that are going to suit a style of football. I just believe Maresca needed to be backed and he hasn't been. So I am nowhere near like I was last year when it was in the patch when I was like patch out. I won't get a Maresca's back with this. But it's not Maresca's fault. It's not Maresca's fault at all. All the other players cooking at other teams because they're in teams that have got stability. It's teams that have got experience. And they're going there, sitting into a system, and they're enjoying the football. Why can't it be like this at us? We got to find the stability at our club to attract players to come and want to continue their careers. Right now, no one wants to be here. You've got Felix saying he wants to leave for a first opportunity. So something needs to change. So going back to the Villa team, Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go through the comments right now as well before we finish up. But yeah, 55 minutes. Gone pretty quick. It's gone pretty quick. We've gone through quite a lot. We've gone through the Villa team, gone through the Chelsea, we've gone through some of the chats by Maresca. Anything else that we need to talk about, people in the chat? Anything else you want to ask? 21 people in there. I'm sure there's something you want to ask Kev. Please feel free to write it in the comments. I am an Indonesian who is a Chelsea fan. I'm confused about which one to support because our national team players play at FC Copenhagen. Chelsea fan, I'm confused about which one to support because our national team players. I couldn't tell you, mate. You've completely confused me on that one, mate. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, so Villa's starting lineup against Liverpool. They went with Martinez, Garcia, Disasi is going to be cup tied. Tyrone Mings is back from injury. Luca Digne, experienced player down the left. Then we go into the corner midfield. McGinn, Tillemans, experience there. And then we've got a mix up of experience and youth coming through. Asensio started on the right, Rodgers in the cam, Rashford on the left, and Watkins up front. And that is not a bad team at all. Considering when they had Mason come off the bench, they had Marlon come off the bench, experience and youth all in one, and the right project. A project that players want to jump at the opportunity to play for Villa. Champions League team going in the right direction. And it will show on Saturday. If we don't go out and set up properly against Villa, let's be real. This the other day, Villa will have done a homework on us. They know how poor we are at the moment to defending balls over the top. 2 goals in the last few games we conceded, where the ball has literally come from the goalkeeper over our defence, and we have not been able to cope with it because Shalova hasn't read it properly, hasn't reacted properly, and he's just been put on his arse for one and showed it a clean pair of heels for the second against Minolta last week. So if you're a Mr. Good Evening right now, and you've seen that and you've studied that, and you've got Rashford's pace, you've got Watkins' pace, you've got Rodgers' pace, what do you think they're going to be saying and thinking and practicing and training? Suck Chelsea in, and then Martinez, soon as we got a goal kick, bang, they're going to hit us over the top. Yeah, and if we are not careful tomorrow, that's what's going to happen. We've got to be able to sit deep and soak the pressure up. We can't always be about the same kind of football on a weekly basis. Play, siders backwards. Good managers will identify that things need changing and tactics need changing, and you need to keep other managers on the toes. I believe tomorrow against this Villa, we don't want to give them any space in behind. I feel like they've got a lot of pace to burn. And if we're not smart about it, they are going to get in behind us. So maybe it's time for us to sit deep, soak the pressure up, and then try and hit them on the counter with the pace that we've got. It's not rocket science, But the way I'm feeling right now, we go into the game, into every single game with the same tactics. It's not sustainable. Got to be able to change it up. This is what good managers do. Winning managers especially. They will change it all the time. They will go into each game with a different plan to counter about what it's all about psychology. What do you feel like Aston Villa were going to use? What are Aston Villa's strengths? They've got pace. What are our weaknesses? Defending over the top. So how can we counteract that? Sit deep and let them have the ball, and then try and get them in behind because they haven't got much pace. Let's be real. They are Disasi and Tyrone Mings as their centre halves. That's not pacey. Maybe we can do what they want to do to them. See what I'm getting to with it? So it's down to Maresca tomorrow to try and stitch it up and get us firing again because the tactics clearly ain't working. One shot on target against Brighton, who conceded 7 goals only 2 weeks ago. So something's got to change. Something's got to change. I'm going to go back to this comment right now. He's saying he's a Chelsea fan, but Indonesian has players on the Copenhagen FC roster. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Well, if you're a Chelsea fan, you're a Chelsea fan, mate. If you're a Chelsea fan, you're a Chelsea fan. Yeah. Support Chelsea. Even okay, look, you got Indonesian players playing for Copenhagen, but do you support Copenhagen? No, you want them to do well, but you're Chelsea, mate. So you got to support Chelsea. Yeah. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for joining. Please like, share the channel, show love, support for the channel. And there's more content coming tomorrow. There's a preview coming in the morning, and it's going to be also some fan cams after the game, lock in, win, lose, or draw. And like I said, trust the process. Trust the protest, not the process. Trust the protest. Yeah. It's not going to be a one-off occurrence. Let's be real. It's got to be a regular occurrence. So everybody, put your money where your mouth is. Let's see if the model changes going forward. But let's get beyond the team tomorrow and try and get this result. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, everybody. And up the Chelsea.